Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah. Feels like this yesterday.
I'm good. Yeah, it was like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Sorry about the document. I sent it, but I don't know how I sent it. Maybe I just didn't, I don't know. But
We got it now.
that
That's all that matters.
okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
I will be looking at it while we talking so we can help you guide you through here. From what I'm looking at, your biggest hurdles getting more customers and setting the right price. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm really at the beginning phases, so I'm really kind of how you guys were when you first didn't know what you were doing. That's
Yep.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Good.
So,
Okay.
I was kind of watching you guys on YouTube for a while, and I'm like, well, wait, let me do this coaching thing because, why not, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get
So
more
I'm
help this
basically
way.
at the very right. Yeah.
Very beginning. Okay.
I've grown. Yeah, so I'm like I want to make sure I'm growing, and so what when I say I can grow a thing, I can actually grow it so that I'm not like taking orders and then I can't actually grow the product. So how dumb would that be, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, and I have a bunch of things that I'm good at growing. So, the salad mixes, the brassicas, the broccolis, the radishes, the sunflowers, the peas. I've tried amaranth. That
Mm.
did okay.
Okay.
Um,
That's usually a
arugula.
tougher
So,
one for people.
so
So
I have a couple of things. Yeah, but I'm also crazy into like the outside gardening. So maybe I'm like absorbing some of that and I'm bringing it into here.
you already got a little bit of a green thumb, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
Um, So I guess could we start with pricing
Yeah.
or however, I don't know how do you run these calls? I don't know.
I use your sheet and then we go off that, but we can go whatever direction it takes us and what you need. So, but we can
Okay.
talk pricing. Have you gone and seen our pricing sheet? How we price our microgreens?
I briefly looked at it. So I guess like right now, like even on your website, so you guys kind of you sell the 2 ounces for $5, right?
We
So I'm
do.
actually uh so I don't know if it's maybe a different market over here. But there's some sellers that are actually price gouging. I've seen like 2 ounces for $10, which is insane to me. I don't do that. So
Yeah.
basically the way I have it priced right now, it's $6 for the 2 ounce containers. And then if you get into, let's say you buy three, you get a discount. So you get three for 15, or I have a sampler for 20 or four for 20, so my goal being to try to get them to buy more than one little container. And
Yep.
typically when people hear, well, it's a discount, then they'll, who cares? It's 15 versus 18. So I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a good strategy or
I mean, we use similar strategy at the farmers market. We did, 5 for 20. We were selling $5, so we did 5 for 20. Basically, you're getting the fifth one free if you buy four, kind of thing. So yeah, it does help get more
okay.
money in the cash register for yourself. That's the goal.
Right. Right.
Um, but we want to make sure you know your inputs, right? Do you know what it costs to produce an ounce of your microgreens?
Um, to be quite frank, I kind of started calculating it and then I kind of gave up.
Okay.
Uh, but my calculation was, and I can't say how much my profit is per tray, so I guess that would be, or per ounce, I guess. So I guess that would be a good thing to figure out.
Yep.
Would you aim for a certain percentage of profit, I guess?
Um, First off, you want to aim for making a profit. Number one,
Right.
you don't want to be losing money,
Yeah.
and there's other factors that go into it besides seed, soil, and all that stuff. You got to think about what your electric cost is, what power, your water,
Right.
all that kind of stuff that goes into each input, and that's why we got that sheet. And I put the link directly to the classroom for you in the chat here, so you can
Okay.
check that out. And I'll also put it in your own classroom You'll have a section where all these meetings are kept as well. So,
Okay.
which I'll go over at the end. But so then you can go in and check that classroom out. It's like an hour and a half long video explaining in detail how to price your
Wow.
microgreens. And it's a whole spreadsheet and everything else, and it's got all the
Okay.
factors in there and everything like that. So you can use that and make sure you're making money. We aim, and it doesn't account for every little thing. It counts for the tray, how much it costs to make the tray, not the cost of the tray, but how much does it cost you to
Right.
make an ounce of microgreens out of that tray, and how much fully that tray makes, and everything like that.
Gotcha.
You'll have other factors, like if you have overhead stuff like that, it's not going to be in there, right? Um, we have expense of the building, but that's not built into there, into that sheet.
Right.
You probably won't have that expense, but there might be some other things, delivery cost. You can kind of figure that out. There's a section for that. If you know how to figure that out. But that's like a big variable number that could be.
Okay.
But it's got 99% of everything you're going to need to make sure you're profitable. Because your input cost could be different what my input cost be. So I can sell it for $5, but you may need to sell it for $6 or $7
Right.
because your input cost may be more.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
How about the pricing? So we're talking about different customers. So let's say restaurants versus aggregating, using an aggregator for home deliveries versus like a small mom and pop shop. Do you guys kind of keep, it's obviously cheaper than if you're selling to a person because they would buy more, I would assume.
Okay.
But do
So
you have like a specific?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, okay. I think I'm sorry. So for, let's say, grocery stores, we're going to give them a discount because they're selling the product for us on their shelves, right? So we'd
Right.
go with about a 30 to 35% discount off of our retail price for them.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's a mom and pop, if it's a big grocery store, or whatever it is, it still costs us the same regardless. So they get the discount, they get the same discount regardless. So if they're reselling our product,
Okay.
we do a 30 to 35% discount on it. We don't do any buybacks. We don't do any
Okay.
guaranteed sales. If we deliver it, they buy it. That's our standard. I don't do anything. I have no, once I give it to them and they put it on their shelves, I have no control of what happens to that product, right? So why should I be penalized if somebody takes that product and put it in a hot section because they decided they didn't want it halfway through? Now I have to buy that product back. That's not fair. What if their coolers go down?
Right.
I have to buy all my product back.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I have no
Yeah.
control of it. So
No, it ain't
I know a lot
happening.
of people. Yeah,
Right.
I know a lot of people get stuck in that in the beginning because they just want to make a sell and they want to get into the grocery stores,
Right.
and the grocery stores kind of will always ask that question, but don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Nope.
And then
Okay.
if you're doing an aggregator, I treat them like a distributor. So, because basically they're distributing your products, right? So you can give them a
Okay.
little bit more of a discount because there's multiple layers in there, right? They're not just going to the grocery store, dropping it off, and then the customer. Now you got the aggregators who's going to drop it off to somebody, and then that somebody's going to sell it to somebody. So you got another layer in there. So you may need to go to like 40%
Gotcha.
discount.
Okay.
And a restaurant, they're the end user. They pay the premium price.
Gotcha.
Full
Now,
retail or more.
speaking of restaurants, if you're doing a grow, I know Nancy was kind of talking about it. If you're growing something that takes longer, like leeks, right? That's like a 20-day, right?
Yep.
Would you
Leeks
how
are
would you
17
price
days.
that
Yeah.
for 17?
Yeah.
It's still not 10 days, so I guess you have like an
Exactly.
extra week of growth there. How much more would you charge for something that takes longer to be ready, I guess?
Well, that's why it's factored into that sheet that we just talked about.
Okay.
Here, I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So can you see the sheet?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it has like, purchase price, seed density, soil costs, lights, dander lights. This is a input number that's over here that you're going to put in here.
Yeah.
The video explains all of it, so I won't go into too detailed here to keep it short for this. But,
Okay.
what it costs per tray, what you're making per ounce, there. This, it costs us nine on this sheet. This is a little different now. This is a little older, but it costs us 9 cents per ounce to produce peas, 6 ounces to produce sunflowers. But it has days and lights, right? So if it was, if it was a 17-day grow, let me enable editing on myself. If it was a 17-day grow, now it costs 10 cents an ounce to produce it. It does change
Okay.
how much it costs to
Gotcha.
produce
Okay.
it, so you figure that into your price as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense?
cool. That's kind of, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you had something like basil, that's 30 days, now it's 12 cents. Obviously, basil is going to be a lot more than that, but you can see how it changes the price
Yeah.
for the day that it's on
Okay.
on the shelf. So,
Yeah.
and then it's got retail costs here. This was our original price, not anymore. But so retail price, restaurant pricing, is per ounce, there, and then wholesaling, also. So you can see the discount there. So
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Cool, cool. I just want to show you that real quick. So yeah, it all will figure that in there. So you definitely are going to charge more for the longer grows because it costs you more, right?
Right. Right. Now I don't know exactly how did you guys start with like farmers markets or did you
We
just
started
jump into
with
the grocery store?
we start no 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 no. We started with an online farmers market. So we delivered to
Oh,
them and they distributed it out to people, and they called themselves an online farmers market. Again, this was
okay.
2021 where a lot of places weren't open back up yet, like farmers markets weren't opening up
Right.
yet and stuff like that. They started opening up in 21, but so you had that one, and then we had home deliveries. That was our
Okay.
whole basis. Then we got into farmers markets and did that and expanded our home deliveries. And then chefs started coming around and asking for products, so we started getting into restaurants. And then a grocery store reached out to us, a local mom and pop, and so we got into grocery stores, and then that just kind of took off, and now that's our main business. I would not recommend getting your feet wet in a grocery store because there's a lot of factors to make sure that happens. Always recommend farmers markets because if something doesn't grow right, they didn't know you were supposed to bring that to the market. You just don't have that
Right.
week, right?
Right. Yeah.
So you
Right.
can make
Yeah.
mistakes and you can learn, and it's not a detriment. But if you can't deliver to a restaurant or a grocery store, you're going to lose that
Yeah.
business, and it's harder to get
Yeah.
it back.
Right. Margin of error is not very good with the bigger you go, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Because yeah.
the bigger the client,
Uh
margin of error is challenging. Yes, so farmers
yeah.
market lends you to all that, making the mistakes and learning.
Now, how were you guys getting home deliveries if you didn't actually go to the market? Were you advertising like on
Yep, we were
Facebook
using
or
Facebook ads. Yep.
okay.
Targeted Facebook ads, to people looking for healthy food, nutrient foods, vegan, tagging them, joining vegan groups on Facebook, and you're not promoting yourself, but you're talking about what you're eating, right? And you're showing your
Right.
pictures and stuff like that. So, and then they reach out to you. Yeah. So all of our home deliveries were in the beginning were Facebook. When we started going to farmers market, we
Okay.
started getting customers off of that. But
Okay. Now I have a question that's not on that sheet, and because I just
okay.
thought about it.
Yeah.
Flip insurance, the food liability insurance, is that
Yes.
I think that's a good idea.
It is. It's so cheap that it's worth having. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the risk is
Right.
probably less than 1%, but there is still the risk, right? The worst thing to happen is
Right.
somebody does complain that they got sick off of your food or whatever. At least you'll have an insurance company to back you up and fight it and take care of any claims. So, and it's cheap.
Okay.
I do recommend checking with your local guy, local lady, local, insurance company. Not a
Mm-hmm.
State Farm or any of the big boys, but like a local independent person, because they usually are going to give
Yeah.
you better rates and better coverage.
Oh, okay.
Now we have both.
Yeah, I'll try to find. Okay. I'll try to find, I'm not sure who does it around here, because most times when I say microgreens, a lot of times the response I get is, "What is that?"
Well, yeah, same still.
So it's like, yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm trying. Sorry,
The
go
one thing
ahead.
what? No, one thing what?
I said the one thing I'm trying to get approval in a sense to put on my label is, so I'm in North Carolina and we got
Yep.
this thing, it's called Got to Be NC. It's kind of how you guys have the Illinois product thing.
Yep.
So I'm going through the process now because it's free, but you have to apply for it and they have to make sure your products don't insinuate that it's curing disease and all that. So I
Yeah.
have to kind of word my website appropriately.
Yep.
But I think that would be good to have on the label because everybody knows like how you guys have that Illinois.
Yep.
So everybody kind of looks for that logo basic, or that symbol
Yeah.
on there.
For sure, it's definitely beneficial, and they're getting ready to do. They just announced at the conference we were at. Now they're changing the label for like our produce, our microgreens. It's Illinois grown product, not just an Illinois product. They're putting the
Yeah.
grown in there,
Okay.
and they're going
Okay.
out and they're making a big push, and they're spending a lot of money. The USDA is, or the Illinois DA, whatever. They're going to be pushing ton towards that for us. So they're spending a lot of money. So it's definitely going to help out. So yeah, you want to be on stuff like that for sure.
I wonder if we have a conference like that here. I'm sure. I don't know. I've never, because I'm, like I said, I haven't quite involved myself. I'm kind of getting there. What type of conference was this that you went to?
It was called Everything Local, from food to flowers. So it was like everything, like
Okay.
from row crops to peach people to indoor farmers like us. Um, food banks were there, buyers were there. Like it's a pretty good conference. I'm not sure if they have it everywhere. It is an Illinois thing. It's by the Illinois Farm Bureau.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
maybe check your
Yeah.
Farm Bureau, which would be a good organization to join
Yeah.
as well if you're not. But check with them. They could lead you into conferences or events like that. That's how we found it.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like there's so much going on, and then you find out afterwards. It's like, okay, well, that didn't help.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like this, we did this cool thing. Oh, thanks for letting me know.
Right. Yeah, it was yesterday. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep.
Uh, a question about container size.
Okay.
So I use the 16 ounce. It's the ones with the lid, the hinge lid. So there's
Hmm.
16 ounce, and I put 2 ounces in there. And
Yep.
then for the bigger ones, they're the 48 ounce, and I can fit either 6 or 8 ounces in there. I don't know. Do you guys use a bigger size for like the bigger
We
ones?
use it for like restaurant deliveries. We use like a 64 ounce and a 32 ounce container. So 64 ounce, we'd go up to 8 ounces
Okay.
in there. So it's basically good rule of thumb is 1 ounce of microgreens to 8 ounce of a container.
Okay.
Now it doesn't work
Yeah,
for
I may have to
exactly
get.
everything, but that's a good rule.
Okay. Yeah, because I can get 8 ounces in the 48, but it's tight. They're
Yeah.
like packed in
And
there.
then
I kind of
squish,
surprised
squish.
myself. Yeah. I'm like, wait, how am I fitting 8 ounces in here? This is like really packed.
You probably shouldn't be honest with you. It's probably
Okay.
squishing them
So
down a
I
little bit.
think,
Yeah.
yeah. So probably the top for that size would be like 6 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, this is very informative. I appreciate
Good.
you guys. I don't know how you have time to do this and also the growing. And I mean, it sounds like you guys are going towards automation at this point because you are that big.
Getting
But
closer.
still, yeah, the I don't know. I don't have enough time in the day to, I'm like, it's like 8 o'clock. I've done nothing today. What?
I am very scheduled and very regimented, so like I use like a
Yeah.
calendar, ClickUp, and I plan my week out on Sunday, and everything's scheduled out there and everything else. That's the reason why I have these ones. You know, you can't schedule but a day in advance. You know, and only 7 days out because I need to make my schedule and all that. So like, I'm just very regiment, like and very block scheduling, and this stuff gets done at this time and this time and this time. So without that, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. Like, yeah, it'd be too crazy. But that's just me.
Right.
And then my wife's a free spirit, and she just
Well,
does stuff when she gets it done, and she gets it done.
okay, well,
Yeah.
good. That she's maybe she doesn't seem as organized, but she is.
Yes,
Um,
it gets done. So
what would be some right? What would be some good crops for like restaurants? Do they go for like the same stuff that not normal people, but like someone at a market would go for? Or is it
somewhat.
more like
Um, like
somewhat?
they're gonna go for more color stuff.
No.
So like a red
Okay.
acre cabbage is a good one, believe it or not, because it's got a lot of that color in it. It's small and it's a good price point for them. So a lot of them go for that. We do sell a lot of peas to restaurants, sunflowers, um, beets, leeks. Um, what else am I forgetting? Oh God,
I heard Cindy yesterday mentioned that wasabi mustard. I don't know if
wasabi.
that's a
Yep,
unique flavor, I guess.
yep. We grow trays disc for them. Yeah, on wasabi. Basil, basil as well. She just remembered that we're out of wasabi seeds.
Okay.
Heard from the back over there.
I heard her back there.
Oh, wasabi.
How
Uh,
about the cilantro? Is that
cilantro too.
one?
Yes, yes. We grow like 3 trays of cilantro a
Okay.
week just for restaurants. Yeah, and then we eat the
Oh,
rest. What's
okay.
left? Uh,
Right. Right.
I love the cilantro microgreens. It's awesome. Had tacos yesterday. I think
I
yesterday. Was it?
nice. I know some people have a weird smell with them, like it smells like soap.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I'm not one of them. I got some seeds, so I'm gonna try it out and see. But
Did you get the split seeds?
cabbage. Yes.
Okay.
Is that not?
Yes,
Is
that's the
that the
ones you
good
want.
one?
Yeah, yeah. And you don't need to soak them.
Okay.
Okay. I know a lot of people out there tell you need to soak
Oh,
your cilantro
okay.
seeds. You do not need to soak them.
Okay.
Check out our video how to grow. We did the
How
grow
about
one.
your?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
How about the peas and the sunflower? You soak both of those?
Yes. We do 2 different methods depending on life. So you can do a 12-hour overnight soak, just tap water, right? Normal temperature of tap water,
Okay.
just turn the cold on. You can do 12-hour
Yeah.
soak on that, or you can do a 4-hour warm water soak. So
Oh.
warm to the touch water, that feels like, and you can soak them in 4
Yeah.
hours, and they grow just the same.
How do you keep the water warm?
Well, the water that goes in
Is
there,
that
it's
a dumb
warm. It's gonna
question?
stay. I mean, it's only 4 hours, so it's gonna stay warm enough, So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So basically you're starting it
yeah,
warmer and
yes.
okay. Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna be warm in 4 hours, right? But it starts
Right.
there, and it's got
Okay.
enough built into
Yes.
the seeds and everything. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I watched one of your videos with the double bucket method, the
Mm-hmm.
one where you use the bucket with the holes, and
Yep.
that's a lot easier to strain than with the mash
Yes.
because I was doing sunflowers and I was getting like stuck in the mash and like then it was all over my hands and like this is not worth $6.
No, no, it's not. And I did that in the beginning, and then I was like, we got to the point where we had 10 pea bags, like you had the strainer bags,
Yeah.
10 different ones. I'm like, this is dumb. It's got to be a better way. And I'm like, and I just came up, let's just drill holes in a bucket, and it worked out perfectly. And that's the way we've been doing
Yeah.
it now for 3+ years. So
Yeah, I've tried that. Last time I did a batch, I tried that because I got a couple buckets and it's like a different, I mean, yes, thank you for that.
yeah, you're welcome. Yes.
Now for your seed density for the pea, how much do you guys use?
We are at ounce wise, we're at 9.5 ounces. If you want
Okay.
grams, I can give that to you. But
No, it's okay. How
okay,
about the sunflowers? I
sunflowers
know
were
that
at,
depends on the size.
yeah. With the seed lot that we're getting from Johnny's right now, we are at 5 ounces on the sunflowers.
Okay.
We've gone down to the lowest 3.5 ounces with the sunflower, depending on the variety and the size of them. So
Gotcha.
the bigger, the less
Okay.
ounces.
Right. Basically, I guess what I'm looking for is even coverage of the tray, but not having a bunch of seeds piled up on top of each other, because I think that's how
Exactly.
I was getting some mold. Okay.
Yep. Especially with sunflowers, it definitely, if you get too much in one area and they ain't got room to grow and they're just bunched there, they will definitely mold.
Yeah. I ordered some leek seeds, so hopefully they'll be here by the time you guys start the grow along. I don't know if they will or not, but if they will, then I
Oh,
can
they should be.
grow
Where'd you get them?
along.
Where'd you get them from?
True leaf.
Yeah, 7. Oh, yeah. You should get them. We're getting seeds from True Leaf now in like 4 days. So,
Oh, well, maybe you guys are special because you probably order like 700 pounds. That's
well, we did. Yeah. We just got seeds in today. We ordered on Monday. So,
oh, okay.
yeah.
I don't know. I ordered some of that wasabi that we were talking about yesterday.
Mhm.
So we'll see when that shows up, but that'll be interesting to see how it grows. Hopefully it's not like an arugula, because I've
No,
tried arugula
wasabi.
and
Wasabi's easy grow. It's more like a broccoli growing.
okay,
It's pretty easy. I've never
cool.
had any issues with wasabi. Not like arugula. Now we got
Right.
arugula down. I used to
It
call
was
arugula argula, but now we got it down. So
yeah, it was growing fine, and then I don't know, it like died off in the middle. So again, with the watering and yeah, so it basically dampened off.
yep.
So I was
Do you
talking
have
to
mesh?
myself.
Do you have mesh trays?
I don't, and I've watched something in the classroom portion where you
Yeah.
mentioned you that those would be better.
Much better for arugula. Arugula beats deep mesh trays, but yeah, for arugula, mesh trays changed everything for us. Like it just so much better. It gets much more even watering.
Okay. And so which ones would you use the deep mesh? Just the beets?
The beets is the only one that we're using the deep mesh with. Yeah. Beets,
Okay,
switch chard, anything in that family.
gotcha. Yeah, I went on the Bootstrap Farmer website, so I was looking at that mesh, and they're comparable in price to the
Yeah.
other ones. They're actually a
Yeah.
bit cheaper.
Yep.
Do you think the peas and the sunflowers might do good in the mesh bottom ones?
Yep. They'll grow just fine. They're just going to be a pain in the butt to get out at the end to get the soil
Oh,
out
yeah, yeah.
because it's going to
They
make a
get
big mat.
the roots get okay. Yep, great.
The
Well, that
roots
might
will
not
make a
be a
big
good.
mat up underneath, so you'll have to take
Yeah.
a knife and scrape it
Yeah.
off.
Okay.
But they'll grow. They'll grow great. But
Right.
you're just not going to like your life when you have to do that. But you have to
Right.
clean
No, especially if you have more than one or two trays. So yeah, that's yeah, I'll reconsider that.
it. That's the only ones I would not. If you changed everything else, you could change everything else to mesh, and they would grow fine. But I would not recommend peas and sunflowers. Or yeah, that's the only twos I
Okay.
wouldn't recommend.
Okay. Great.
All
Well, this
right.
has been very yeah, very informational. And I
Good.
also have you booked for next Tuesday. I don't know, there was some
Yeah, I
call,
was going to
something.
talk
It's
to you
like
about
20.
that. That's something you don't really need. That is just like an initial introduction if you haven't had a call or if you're not an annual member
Oh,
or anything like that.
okay.
So I'm probably going to cancel that for you.
Okay.
Because it's basically a meet and greet, which is what we're doing and going more in depth.
Right.
And it's only like a 20-minute
Right.
call, really a 15-minute call just to get to know you and, if you're new to the group. So I like to introduce myself to people that are part of the group, right? So.
Right. Okay, so then
Um,
we can consider that one canceled then, so I know.
yes, here's that one cancel.
Okay.
I will
Yeah,
do that
okay.
later on here. Um,
Right.
yeah. Um, anything else that's you need? I'm looking through
No,
your
yeah.
lists.
No, I
Budgeting, yeah,
think we
using that pricing
covered.
sheet, sales marketing, customer engagement. So yeah, get in that pricing sheet, play around with it. If you have any
Yeah.
questions after watching the video and going through it, let me know, and we can help you out with it. Though.
Okay.
All right,
Great. Well,
all
it
right.
was great chatting with you.
Oh, one last thing, I got to show this to you so you know where to go.
Yeah.
So I am going to share my screen again.
Okay.
Yep, that one. All right. So, in the successful roadmap journey here, you'll click on there and you'll scroll all the way down because you're the newest one. So you'll be right here, Roxanne Roadmap. Um, and then you'll
Okay.
have stuff in here. So you'll have this meeting, the list that you gave me, the sheet we'll put in here. The recording of this meeting we'll put in there. So you'll have that so you can always look back on it and everything else as well. So any
Okay.
communication, you won't be able to click on anything. Like if you go to like, say you would go to Lorena's, which is not in there. So let me go to somebody who does, like Paul and Brandy's. Only their email is attached to that link. And so only your
Gotcha.
email will
Yep.
be attached to the link, so nobody else can see the information. It's just me and you that'll be able to see it.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be in there in the next few
Okay.
days. I'll send you a message when it's in there so you can read, watch this, and all your notes and everything. So,
Gotcha.
all
Now, do
right.
you have any feedback that what I'm saying, does it kind of make sense? Because it makes sense in my head, like how I want to approach it, but it might not make sense to anyone else.
Uh, how you want to approach?
Like what I'm looking at, the pricing, the website stuff. Does it
Yeah.
kind of make sense? Because I don't want
It.
to like jump ahead. Like you said, don't jump in the grocery store because
Yeah.
you might
Yeah.
fail.
Get your feet wet first, right? Let's swim in the
Okay.
shallow end before we go to the deep end. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I definitely get your face if you don't have your Facebook group up or Instagram business page, get them up get your website up, start putting information in there and all that stuff. Get your baseline, so build your bricks, build your foundation of that and everything else. Get in the pricing sheet, make sure you're pricing your microgreens correctly and you're going to make the money that you want to make off of them. And I didn't really answer your percentage, but you shouldn't be lower than 80% profit margin. And you probably shouldn't be higher than 90. So somewhere in that range.
Okay. And I can figure that out based on that spreadsheet that you
Yeah,
showed
it
me.
will
If
tell
I put
you
stuff
what
in there. Okay.
it will tell you
Okay.
what you're making per package, and then you can figure out what you're charging,
Okay.
and you can do the percentage. I probably should put that in there, but I don't
Okay.
have it in there. But and put a target in there. That's a good point. I probably should do that. I might change it. But yeah.
So why
So
wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to be over 90? Because over 90 sounds good.
you're probably overcharging then,
Oh, okay.
and then you're not
Yeah.
gonna. Then if you're overcharging, you're gonna alienate some people from buying at that point. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time,
Yep.
and I'm sure I'll have some more questions in the next Q&A.
Yeah, next Q&A, or if you got any more, put them in the community as it goes along
Yeah.
through the week as well. But yeah, that's why we're here every week. So, and then
Is
I
there a
will
way to message?
go ahead.
Is there a way
Message.
to message specific people? Like if I want to message, let's say Cindy, can I message her directly, or do I have to post like in the discussion and like tag her in there?
No, you can all you got to do is go up here to this thing, this little chat box.
Yeah.
Click on there,
Okay.
and that's how I was messaging you. As long as you're at
Oh, okay.
as long as you're at level 2, which you are, you can chat. It's just locked on
Great.
that just to keep people from spamming people or anything else. But yeah, so you can go in there and you just
Right.
can type their name in and you can search for
Yeah.
them. So if you wanted to search for Mike, I'll just put there's the mics, and you can find them.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
Okay. Great.
or you can go to their profile. So like if you go here in Tasha and I go to her profile, then it goes here and you can chat. Just click
Okay.
on that and it's gonna bring up the chat box.
Great. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
still trying to figure out the school, the like the software part of it. I was like, I don't know.
Well, here's a
There's too
good place
much
for you to go.
technology.
See this classroom? Get Schooled?
Yes.
It will lead you through how you use school.
Oh, okay.
So there's like
Great.
4 videos in there of how to use school.
Okay.
They're like quick videos, like
Perhaps I
that's
should.
2.5 minutes, 1 minute. They're only like 1 minute or 2 minutes. So
All right. Perhaps I should start with that then.
yes, start there. Yes, it
Great.
wasn't in there. It's only been in there for a couple weeks, so it's probably why you haven't seen
Okay.
it. So.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Well,
All right,
thanks
Roxanne.
again. Have a
Yes.
good rest of your evening, and until next time.
Yes. Great talking to you. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.